You? Is anybody?
There's Molly, folks. That means your friends the Goldbergs are here. Brought to you by Does, the new kind of soap for everything in your wash. First, let's drop in on the Dozen family. Ma Dozen's in the living room. Uh-oh, here comes Daisy Dozen home from high school. She's handing Ma a note.
It's from my French teacher.
What she want?
Open it, Ma.
She says, Madam Dozen, your daughter's French recitation was very poor today. Please have her prepare her next French lesson more carefully. My lands, Daisy, what'd you say that got your teacher so riled up?
All I did was describe does in French. I said, in the wash, does toot.
Does doesn't toot, Daisy. Couldn't you say it's a new kind of soap and it does everything in the wash?
But, Ma, toot is French for everything. I said, does the work shirts, towels, the pretty rayons. In a word, toot.
Stop tootin', Daisy. You ought to have told your French teacher how easy Does gets Pa's overalls clean without any hard scrubbing. I don't even need a bar soap anymore because Does gets the grimiest clothes clean all by itself.
Oui, Ma Mère.
Just call me Ma, please, Daisy. Couldn't you say in French how white Does gets towels? No soap I ever used gets clothes whiter.
I told the teacher, does gets towels and sheets blanc comme nuage. That means white as a cloud, Ma.
Very good, dear. And did you tell how this same Does is safer for your rayon blouses and other nice colors I wash?
Oui.
Yet it can't be beat for getting out tough dirt?
Oui, Ma.
Then I can't understand your teacher not liking your French recitation, Daisy.
Gee, Ma, maybe in French doesn't do everything.
Oh, listen, Daisy, whatever language you speak, does everything in the wash. It's the only leading granulated wash day soap that gives longer life to colors, plus unsurpassed whiteness and real cleaning power for the dirtiest clothes. Try Does, D-U-Z. It does everything in your wash. And now the Goldbergs. Well, the squeeze on Grace is getting tighter and tighter. She was able to weather Rosie's suspicions because Molly was head over heels in love with her new daughter-in-law. But suddenly, as if someone had flashed a light in a dark room, Molly's perspective changed. She remembered the strange way in which Grace first arrived in Lastenbury. She remembered that her son hasn't been heard from. She began to see George in a new light, and to doubt if Grace's reason for wanting Rosie's insurance money was really the truth. And now Grace, alarmed by Molly's attitude, doesn't know how to turn. And Molly, perturbed, suspicious, doesn't know how to proceed. Listen.
Molly, don't try to convince me. Grace is Sammy's wife, and that's all I want to know.
All right, Rick. All right. Take this up to Grace. A little cold orange juice.
Why don't you take it up?
Because if I'll take it up, I'll ask questions. And if Grace is not feeling well, I shouldn't, and I know I will.
What questions will you ask? What questions are there to ask?
First, I would ask, how is it that George and she came from the same town, and that the same letter with the same postmark came on the same day, one to Menasha, where George is working, and one to us? How could it be so coincidental? And if it was coincidental, why is George here every day? Why does he call every day? And also, who is her sister that needs so much money? And if yes, why can't we know her name and her address? And why can't we have the pleasure to give her the money in her face, face to face?
Ma.
Well?
Grace wants me to call George and tell him that she's not going to New York.
Oh. Why can it be possible that she...
All right, Drake, all right, please. If you think it's possible, very well, then it's possible.
Whatever you do, don't forget. Remember that for better or for worse, she married to Sammy. Don't forget that.
I wouldn't forget it. Oh, how I'm not forgetting she's married to Sammy. Hello?
Hello. I'm talking to who?
To me, David.
Molly?
Yes, David. Where are you?
I'm in the post office.
Oh, any mail?
Yes, Molly.
Yeah?
There's 4 letters.
Yeah?
One letter's got a mark on it.
What kind of a mark?
A Red Cross mark.
Oh, Red Cross?
Yes, so it must be from the Red Cross.
Oh, you open it quickly. Open it quickly, David.
And if I open it?
Oh, you haven't got your glasses?
And if I have my glasses?
Oh.
Typewriting, I can't read.
Oh, so come home fast.
Yes. I'll come home fast. I'll get a hitch.
Yes, very fast and very quickly.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
What is it, Ma?
Uncle David says there's a letter from the Red Cross.
Ma, maybe...
Don't talk, Rosalie. Don't talk. Just let me
Well,
think.
now we'll know, Ma. Now we'll know everything.
Yes, now we'll know. Now we'll know everything, Rosalie.
Are you calling George?
What, Jake?
Are you calling George?
Yes. Yes. Why should you want to call George now? Don't talk, Rosalie. Please don't talk. Don't ask me questions. Don't interrogate me, don't. Let me think. Rosalie, Seymour said he saw Grace and George looking at timetables.
Well, maybe...
Don't talk, I said don't talk. I'm trying to think. Let me think quietly. Let me think slowly. What was Seymour saying to Grace here alone in the kitchen when we walked out and she didn't feel well, huh?
Well, maybe...
Don't talk.
Well, maybe he
Don't
told
you
her that
talk,
he had
talk,
told
talk,
us that he
talk,
saw them together.
All this talk. If
But he might
Grace
have told-
knows that we know that she was looking at timetables, Rosalie, then maybe... Let me...
Grace wants to talk to him.
Wants to talk to George. What does she want? Hello? Yes?
Who is it, Ma?
Yes, Seymour. She's feeling better, thank you. Seymour, what were you talking about when Grace wasn't feeling so well? Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh. And what else? Uh-huh. Oh, you said that we was all disturbed because she had to go to see another doctor. Oh, uh-huh, surely. Uh-huh. All right, Seymour, thank you. Just 1 minute. Just hold, just 1 minute. Seymour wants to talk to you.
Oh, no, Ma, please.
What's no?
Please, I
A
don't want to
word,
talk to...
a syllable.
I have nothing to say to him,
Nothing
Ma,
to say.
please.
Such a wonderful
Now,
talk.
tell him I'm not here.
Not here. Hello? Hello, Seymour? Rosalie just stepped out. She went to the chicken coop. She's picking eggs. Yeah. Well, I'll tell her. To the dance? Well, I'll tell her. Very well. Very well. Just a minute. Just a minute. I think I see her. 1 minute.
Ma, please.
Just a minute. To the dance.
I don't want to go to the dance with him. Tell him I'm not here, Ma, please.
Call back tonight,
Oh,
Seymour.
Ma.
All right. Bye. Ma.
Are you calling George?
I will.
Who was on the phone?
Seymour.
Well, what did he say, Ma?
Nothing at all. He wanted to know how Grace was feeling. Jake, why don't you ask Grace to give you back the check?
Call George. Grace wants him over here immediately.
For what?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Have a little faith in people. Because your romantic daughter pieced together a story that has no foundation. Are you also succumbing?
Well, what did Seymour say, Ma?
He wanted to know how Grace was feeling.
And?
You heard me on the phone what I said. You heard me. But Seymour told her that we was perturbed because she had to go to New York, and that's why they was looking on timetables. Now she thinks that she was looking on the timetables because she had to go to New York to the specialist. That's why. That's why. Oi.
No, I can't go on this way.
Please, Grace. Molly.
Please, I want George here. Will somebody call him, please?
Call George. I said call George.
And I loved you all so much. All of you. I thought I was with my own family. First it was Rosie and now you, Mother.
Call George.
You've succeeded in convincing your mother, Rosie.
Please. First, sit down. Why do we need George? When you feel better, I want to ask you a few questions.
And I want you to ask me anything. And I want to answer and tell you everything you want to know. Who I am and where I'm from. Oh, it's going to be very disappointing because there's nothing to it. I'm not anybody important. And it wasn't because my family or my friends were so much that Sammy married me. He married me for myself. And he said his family would love me for myself. He said, you just have to see me. And I came here and I thought you all loved me. But now you want me to prove that you should love me the way a lawyer proves his case. All right, well, I'm willing to do it. I don't care if that's what you want. But I know I'm not in this family. I'm just being tolerated here, just permitted to stay because in your mind, Sammy had the misfortune to marry someone like me. No one sympathizes any longer. No one cares. I'm having a child, and that's just one more burden being brought on this house by a stranger. Seymour told you he saw me with George looking at timetables. Well, I wanted to spare you. I didn't want you to know how ill I've been.
Grace, please.
I'm Molly.
Oh, I'm
Molly.
sorry for you, Rosie. Because you're the kind of a person that'll always bring unhappiness to herself and everyone else. You're young, and you don't know the way I do how much getting on in the world and how much being happy depends on having faith in people. It was you who created this whole story about George and myself. It was something you wanted. Something to add a little spice to your life here. And the fact that it's broken Mother's faith in me, the fact that I have nothing to write to Sammy except bad news, that doesn't matter to you. You dramatized yourself and had a wonderful time. And now we have to pick up the pieces and make some kind of a life out of it.
David?
Yes, it's here.
What's here? What?
It's here. It is from the Red Cross.
It's for me.
No, it's for me, Grace.
There, you see why.
Please.
Give me that letter. It's
Grace.
mine. You're all plotting against me. You're all trying to break up my marriage. You want me to separate from my husband. Give me that letter. It's mine. I tell you, give it to me. It's mine.
Rosie, give it to Grace.
But, Ma,
Give it to Grace.
well, I didn't read it yet.
Give it to Grace. If Grace has nothing to hide, she'll show it to us.
But Grace has more to hide than even Molly or we suspect. There is one deadly fact, one deadly revelation, which will be more shocking than any of Grace's other tricks. More than her duplicity, her lies about her sister, her desire to get the money, or her relationship to George. You know, I've always figured good things are worth waiting for. Of course, sometimes the waiting seems pretty long. Like that flutterhead cousin Dusm said.
You know, I waited a long time for a soap like Does for dishes. Now all I'm waiting for is a husband.
Well, cousin, maybe Does can help you. Does everything, in the wash, that is, and it has everything for dishes, too. This new kind of soap makes suds that stand up till the last dish is done. Cuts grease like 60, yet it's kinder to hands than any other leading granulated wash day soap. Why, you ought to see how those Does suds stand up. You don't have to keep adding soap. And Does cuts even tough grease in less than half a minute. Yet it leaves your hands soft and smooth. Yes, Does has everything for dishes. Try it, won't you? And when you does your dishes, remember all soaps contain vitally needed war materials. So don't waste Does. Always scrape dishes thoroughly before washing. See to it every bit of Does you use does more. And be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs, written for you by Gertrude Berg. Molly makes up her mind, and Grace, with a bold gesture, unmakes it. This is Clayton Collier speaking and reminding you to do as the Dusms do. Let Does, the new kind of soap, do everything in your wash.